Got dreams of being a professional podcaster, but have no idea what you're doing?
This is impossible.
That's about to change.
A new kind of school.
Welcome to the Pod School Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the show. Today I'm going to be talking about whether or not you should transcribe your podcast episode. If you don't know what that means, it's essentially providing a text version of the stuff that you say in your podcast. So it's literally a script that you wouldn't write before you do the episode, but that you would create after the episode that essentially takes you through every single thing you said in that show. It's very easy to wonder, well, why the heck would you want to do that? Who would read it? And why would you bother putting in the time? But it is actually a good thing to do for a number of reasons. The first is SEO. Oh, that holy grail of internet marketing. If you don't know what SEO is, that is basically search engine optimization, a wanky phrase, and it's all about how people find your content online. So it's all about making sure you have the right keywords and phrases in the text of your web pages so that when people come online to try and search for things, your website comes up. And if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. If you do a podcast episode and you embed that episode onto your web page, all of those words and that advice and the stuff that you're talking about doesn't actually get embedded into the SEO of the page. If you put a transcript there and it's 1,000 words, then all of that sort of information gets put into that web page. So if somebody's searching for your show or searching for your niche or searching for questions that you've answered, then there's more chance that your page will pop up and that people will find your show via search. And the more people that find your show, the more potential listeners you have. The other reason that you might want to do a transcript is it provides an option for the hearing impaired to be a part of your show. Podcasting is obviously a fantastic thing, but there are a huge amount of people that can't enjoy your show. So the idea of putting a script on there so that hearing impaired people can also come and enjoy your content is a spectacular idea. So that's something to think about as well. A less selfish reason for transcribing your episode. Obviously, on the one hand, you've got all of the SEO stuff that will bring more people to your page and hopefully grow your audience. And on the other hand, you are actually opening your show up to people who might not be able to experience it. And that is a fantastic thing. One of the reasons that a lot of people are turned off the idea of transcribing their episode is that they don't realize there are actually resources online where you can get this done very quickly and cheaply, and you don't have to sit there and listen to your voice and type it out in real time. There's a couple of websites. I'll put links to both on the show notes pages. I'm sure there are many, many more than these two, but one has been recommended to me, and that is rev.com. A lot of people use that. The service that I use is trint.com, and I have always found that to be pretty close to accurate. There are obviously going to be some words, for example, pod school isn't in the dictionary, so I always have to go through and turn whatever it has made that into back into the real word. So you do still have to go through the transcript and make sure that it is actually reading as it should. And I should stress, just in case you're trying to work out who this person on Trint.com is that I've hired that can't manage to listen and type things correctly, Trint and Rev are actually digital products. So there is no person on the other end that you are hiring to transcribe. You are literally uploading an audio file, your MP3 of the episode or the WAV file, and you can then select which accent it's in so that the program can better guess what the words are when it listens to it. And then in a matter of minutes, online, it all happens and it pops up when it's done. It transcribes your episode like magic. So there is no person involved, but that's why you sometimes have to pop back in and actually go through and fix up some of the things that it's missed. The other thing that it can be really useful in is making your show notes. So when I get my transcript for my episodes, I will copy and paste that and actually put that into the body of my web page for that particular episode, and I will create the show notes page and the copy around that. So essentially it's like almost almost having a pre-written article there to go. You just need to sort of go through and format it and make it into more of a blog post than just a transcript. But that will help you actually put the information that you need to onto the show notes page without having to sit there and think, ugh, I just did an episode and now I've got to think about how I write that as a blog post. You don't, because you've got the text there and you can pretty much with a few tweaks turn that into a blog post. So it's really useful not only for SEO, it can give you the text for your show notes page. And as I said before, for hearing impaired listeners, it means that they can be a part of your podcast as well, which I think is a stellar reason to do it. I hope that's helped you allay any fears that if you wanted to do a transcript for your episode, you would have to be sweating behind a computer screen for days on end. The technology is so good now that it is completely out of your hands. And for something like $15 an hour worth of transcript, you can get that done online. As I said, all of the links to the services that I've referred to will be in the show notes page at podschoolpodcast.com. There you'll also find links to my tech guide, which will help you set up your own home studio. It takes you through all the tech that you need to get podcasting, as well as a link to PodSchool, my online podcasting course that takes you step by step through every part of the podcasting process, right from coming up with an idea to turning your show into a business. Thanks so much for joining me. I will see you next week. And until then, happy podcasting.
That's all for today.